Good afternoon, everyone. Jonathan Davis here with Davis Auto Sports. Excited to offer you guys, as you'll see in this video, a really nice 2004 Toyota Tacoma. This is a TRD SR5 truck, 157,000 miles on it. Timing belt was done at 138 with the full idler pulley, water pump, all that good stuff. I'm the owner here at Davis Auto Sports. I've had this truck for 3 years personally. Bought it with the intentions to leave it at a property, and I bought it with 157 and change. It still has 3 years later 157 and change. However, this thing has a pretty unique service that we've done for clients in the past that were hiring us to restore their Tacoma. I'll show you later on in the video, but essentially it's about a $4,000 service that we did on the frame itself. If you're looking at these, I'm sure you're well aware of how weak the frames are, how thin they are, prone to rust and everything else. There was a recall that has been closed for years now. So we did a service on this frame, and I will guarantee you, which no other dealership in the country that's selling one of these will give you a 3-year warranty. And that is on the frame, on the work that we did to it. So rest assured, this frame is absolutely gonna last much longer than any other factory frame, but we'll get into that here in a moment as well. But 157,000 miles. I'm gonna go over the entire truck, close-ups, and this is a truck that we're gonna offer at a really, really good price. For a lot of you guys that follow us, you know that our Tacomas are top tier price because we find the cleanest, nicest ones, then we recondition them, service them, top notch, everything. But for someone looking for an extremely solid, very nice, very clean Tacoma, this is a really nice one for you. So it does have, which didn't bother me a lick, it does have a Carfax. Carfax is clean as far as salvage history, flood, all that sort of stuff, but it has an accident indicator on Carfax. It does show that it's on the front. It was hit here. It sort of pushed down the bumper. For me, keeping it at my property, that didn't concern me at all. I didn't care. Obviously, I'll deduct a little bit of money for that. I'm not gonna fix that. I'm selling this truck the way it is. We're not gonna do a bunch of work. We've already paint corrected it and stuff like that, which I'll get into, but you are buying this truck the way it is. So we did not paint correct this truck when I bought it because I knew it was gonna be at my property. I really didn't care about the condition of the paint that much. So the paint correction just got finished yesterday. So it's a fresh paint correction, and it has this paint looking absolutely incredible. If you're unfamiliar with paint correction, you essentially sand a very thin layer of clear coat, and then with multiple steps of high-speed compounds, polish, buffs, different tools, instruments, materials, what you end with, it was a beautiful gloss, and you don't get this on a factory Toyota paint. There's a small, tiny little ding here, factory Toyota glass, and then there's a dent right there, but that honestly can just get popped up from the backside, but we're selling it like that. The flares we did refinish as well, gives all the black a nice pop. We refinished the wheels just recently as well. So the wheels are refinished, new center caps, and the tires were on there, and they're very, very deep tread tires. This is a Tacoma that most dealers would love to buy at an auction like this or trade in. They would think it's in incredible condition, but obviously our standards are what they are. Paint, once again, beautiful. The body is really, really straight on this thing overall. There's a small little ding right there in the bed. Flares done. Factory TRD with rear differential locker. But these wheels are common to pit and have all sorts of issues, and those have been taken care of. So I mean, the truck really, really has some good eyeballs. I did order a rear bumper for it. I will include that. It's not on it now, so that is the only thing that is going to be added to the truck. This bed liner was in here, nice and clean. Rear sliding glass, couple little touch-up paints, areas, stuff like that, typical for a 04 Tacoma. Headlights are nice and clean. The guys did a phenomenal job on the paint correction. So as I walk around and show you the cosmetics, I'll start to talk about the frame. So In a nutshell, if you're familiar with these trucks, as I mentioned earlier, they're known for frame issues. And my plan was to, you don't recoup the cost in this service. So this is why we don't do it on vehicles that we bring to market, because it takes literally 2 or 3 weeks to do it, sometimes more. Material is expensive, and it's just hard to recoup it. So we do it on client vehicles that we restore, because they're spending a lot of money on everything and they want it to last another 20, 30 years. Essentially, from this front section of the frame all the way down to this section of the frame, this frame is fully capped. So this steel plate goes down, goes over and back up on the backside. So it's just about fully boxed in. And the steel that is used is much thicker. It's obviously brand new. We prep the frame very, very well behind it. We clean it all up. So from this section to the front section on each side, I will warranty this frame for 3 years. I don't give a damn what climate you live in. I don't care what you do. Now the warranty is going to be good at my shop. So if there's an issue with this massive steel plate that we welded on, any issues within 3 years of you buying it, you get the truck back to us and we will repair it free cost, not a dime out of pocket. That's if you're in Florida, Maine, wherever, it doesn't matter. So although it's a 3-sided plate, you may say, oh, why does it take so long? It's just a lot of work. We notch out all the sections. I'll give you a quick little glimpse of it. But it gets welded to the very, very top. I mean, this is super thick steel. Wraps around here. There's a weld here that connects, and then a weld up top. So, I mean, it literally goes just about all the way around. Very, very clean welds. It's all brand new steel. I mean, it goes literally all the way around. That's just from the feet from the lift, and it just continues all the way up to where I showed you. And it's done on both sides. And this is something that so the floor pan and everything else we undercoated, that looks a little bit dirty because I have a dirt road. So all that brown stuff is literally just dirt. But you can see that the floor pan is in excellent condition. The pinch welds are very clean. The rockers all the way down are very clean. So we did some additional stuff like these cross members. We went ahead and welded some plates there as well. So all the weak points of this truck, look at this. It's going to be hard for you to, but that's very, very thick steel right there. And of course, while we were doing that, I had them undercoat all the floor pan, but you can see how smooth it laid down, that it was not sprayed on top of rust. I mean, you can still see the seam seal and everything else. So now that's not to say that there's not some areas of bare metal where it may have some surface rust. So this area was on a peg of a lift, but look how thick that steel plate is. So, I mean, this frame, you're not gonna, let me get to this other side. So here's another, all this has been welded in all the way down. So that's these engines and driveline, they go 3, 4, 5, 600,000 miles. But the reason a lot of them don't last that long is that frame. And they're known throughout those different sections right there to go bad. So we just do the whole thing. And we started doing that, man, we started doing that at the airport at the old shop probably 7 years ago. And it is expensive, but I'm not even factoring in that service that much into the cost of this truck. It's almost a freebie, if you will. So very, very nice to have. Now, second thing, this is gonna sound crazy, but with what I do down there, I like to have either like a leather or vinyl seat just to be able to wipe it and clean it and everything else. So what we actually did is we took 4Runner skins off of a 4Runner that we were gonna go ahead and restore and put some different leather on, and we just wrapped the seats in a 4Runner limited leather seat. Now, it's not the exact pattern tick for tack, but it worked for me. I'm gonna sell this truck with these skins in it if you want, at an additional cost, we have 2 Tacomas here that we can pull the factory skins off, take these off, and put the factory material on. Now, the only issue with that is this is a tan, and both of my Tacomas have the gray interior. Back seats are super clean. I didn't have one person in this truck in the last 3 years. I don't smoke. I don't buy vehicles that have been smoked in. This has been on there for 3 years. This has never come off. You can't just put it on and make it look like that. So that's from the heat going into it and everything else. I didn't work out of the truck or anything like that. Diff locking system, steering wheel, no gunk, very clean. I am missing the knob. We do have one of those on order, so that will be included. So yeah, that's it. We'll take it on a quick test drive. Also, every panel has a factory VIN plate as well. So every single panel is original. So quick recap before we drive. 04, 157,000 miles, factory TRD truck, good rubber all the way around, wheels in excellent condition, brand new center caps. Frame is solid as can be, and there's a lot of things that we did while we were doing that frame. New bushings on the leaf spring because those came off, so we put new ones on. And just to give you a glimpse of it here, I mean, that plate goes all the way up. So that's the tailgate too does have typical little issues. You can buy these tailgates. We're not going to do it. We're so busy with all of our work, and this isn't a typical vehicle that we sell in this manner. But you can buy those tailgates online, already painted, new ones. I think they're about $350 or $400. Also, yeah, AC blows nice and cold in this guy. We either have to do a air fuel, pretty much an O2 sensor in this truck, or we just did it. It's one or the other on bank one, sensor one. I know my guys had told me that earlier. AC blows nice and cold. So this is the factory Toyota windshield. It has a factory seal. The glass is much better than what you're gonna get compared to your glass companies out there. The windshield's in excellent condition with the exception of one chip down there. But I've always been a believer in a vehicle like this. I'd rather have a chip in the factory windshield with a factory seal than replace it with a new glass, which is actually gonna chip easier, crack easier, and you're never gonna get that seal. So we can resin fill that if need be, but I would recommend leaving that in there. But if you want a new windshield, we can do one. You're gonna be about $300 for that. Try to be as upfront in these videos as possible and show everything. You know, we spend a lot of time on these videos and go through everything. Just keep in mind for, you know, you guys watching our Tacomas, this isn't our typical, you know, $20,000, $25,000 Tacoma. It's very nice as you see, but for what we have, it's not what we typically sell, and that's not what I was looking for to keep down at the property. But I wouldn't be surprised if this thing has had 50 to 300 miles put on it in the last probably 2 years or so. But this thing drives flawlessly. You can get in this truck here in Virginia and drive it to California if you want. the way you're buying this truck is exactly the way you see it, with the addition to the AC knob, and we do have a new chrome bumper that we're going to put on the back for you. We also offer full financing. We just ask if you're going to purchase this, or if you're bidding on eBay, that you get pre-approved first. Do not win the auction and then start the process. We can pre-approve you within 10 minutes to 45 minutes at the most. Truck will have a fresh oil change, filter change. It'll also have a brand new Virginia State inspection, which they'll go through and inspect brakes and tires and lights and wipers, and making sure it doesn't have any leaks and ball joints and all that good stuff. If you guys have any questions, 855-955-3377. Thank you.